Welcome to all my dear students. This is Dr. Sheikh Sarfaraz from Infinity Learn by Teacher Dinya. So, dear students, I am going to discuss your paper. Okay. So, obviously, you are having the key and solutions with you, but however, as my key responsibility, I will try to discuss with you the solutions. Okay. Right. And if any ambiguity is there, that also will come across. Okay. No problem. So, let us begin with our question number 1. Correct statement among the following. So, let us take it fast. You know, all of you, borax contains sodium ions, correct? 2 sodium ions are present in borax, and once it combines in water, it forms sodium hydroxide. Hence, it cannot be acidic in nature, correct? Aluminum is the most abundant. It's not metal. It's not element. It is metal. Okay, it is third abundant element, but it is a most abundant metal in earth crust. So, obviously, it goes wrong. Diborane is electron rich molecule. Very common sense, diborane is nothing but it is made up of 2 borane molecules will be at equilibrium with B2H6. So, remember the state remains in equilibrium form, right. So, hence it is electron deficient compound, because in borane you can see you have 3 bonds. 3 bonds means multiplied by each bond 2 electrons, so 6 electrons, right. And diborane is nothing but a molecule formed where bridge hydrogens are available to compensate the deficiency. Boron is the hardest but the lightest element of 13th group. See, if you stop here, imagine boron is hardest, it becomes wrong. But if you add the word 13th group, then it becomes correct, because apart from boron there are more hard substances like diamond, boron nitride, corundum, that is silicon carbide, and etc. So, obviously, the answer moves ahead. Number of significant figures in 0.020 is okay. Everybody is aware about it. It is a very easy question. It is 2. You have to take the preceding of the succeeding of the decimal. Sum of 18.0 and 12.6 is correctly represented as. So, if you add this 2, you are going to get the answer 13.60, but you have to represent it by 13.6. Why? The 0, how many times if you are going to write it after the even number 6, it will not play any role. Hence, it is written as 6, as it is written as 30.6. 1 nanometer is equal to dash picometer. To bring the relationship, serious students, if you want to bring any relationship, because do not think that this has come in exam, second time it may appear, no. He may ask in Armstrong's, picometer, micrometer, decimeter, centimeter, any relation he may ask you. So, you should know that 1 nanometer is represented by 10 to the power of minus 9, right, and 1 picometer is represented as 10 to the power of minus 12. So, once you see the relationship, you will get the answer 1000, right. Correct reported value of 6.35 after rounding off it to 2 significant figures is. So, obviously, already 2 minutes before I said you that after, if you put 0, how many number of times, later also it is not at all, and here you can see the correct answer of it, the precise reasoning, this is 6.35. So, this is what number? Odd number, and whenever odd number is there, then you can round off to the nearest round off. So, hence it is 6.4. If it is even, then the scenario will change. Molecular mass of chlorine is equal to, so everybody should know it is 71 units. Why not 71 grams? See, he is asking molecular mass of chlorine. He did not use the word 1 mole chlorine or some amount he has not mentioned. Okay. So, 70, actually generally when we calculate chlorine, are you following? We generally write how much? 35.5 into 2 we write, correct, and just we mention 71, and U represents units. Actually there is no precise units, we do not mention any units, but U we represent in generally. If you say 1 mole of chlorine, then it will become 71 grams. The pair which illustrates law of multiple proportions. So, So, law of multiple proportions in simple statement says that the same element may combine with the other element are following in different simple ratios, okay, and it may combine in its different multiple ratios, right. Weight of magnesium phosphate that contains 4 moles of oxygen atom is, right. So, first let us write the formula of magnesium phosphate, Mg3PO4 taken 2 times. Now, you tell me contain how many oxygen atoms he is saying. So, if you take 1 mole of this if you take, you can clearly see 4 2s are 8 oxygen atoms are there, correct, 8 oxygen atoms are there. So, that means it is very crystal clear that 1 mole of magnesium phosphate if you take, it has 8 oxygen atom, and what is saying contains 4 moles of oxygen atom. Are you following? Or you can say 8 mole oxygen atom, correct. So, therefore, 1 mole of this contains 8 mole of this. So, 4 mole of these atoms must contain how much? Obviously half of this, that is half mole, correct. This is step number 1. Then step number 2, then he is asking weight of that magnesium, then obviously whatever is the molecular weight of this, are you following? So, number of moles is equal to weight by gram molecular weight, correct, and in the formula it is very clearly given, this is to be kept as 0.5, that is half mole. How much weight is there? You will get it, and gram molecular weight, I think approximately 131 something will come. You please calculate it. Whatever molecular weight will come, you keep it here. You are going to get the weight will come in what units? Grams. Because now in your exam he gave gram, in exam he may give you kg also. Volume of water at STP which contains 0.1 mole of electrons. Okay, volume of water at STP. Remember, STP condition is given, which contains 0.1 mole of electrons. So, let us go for one water molecule. So, step number 1, if you take one water molecule, it contains 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. So, this hydrogen has 1 electron, this has 1 electron, this has 6 electrons, right, 8 electrons. So, total how many electrons it became? 1 plus 1 plus 8, you got 10 electrons. So, one water molecule if you take one single, it contains 10 electrons. That means, if you take 1 mole water, if you take 1 mole of water, this is equal to, it must contain 10 into 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 electrons, correct, done. So, now he is asking 0.1 mole contains how much? So, 0.1 mole volume of water, volume of water is asking, sorry, okay. Then how will you proceed further? This is your reference now, correct. So, now this is your reference, then you can do it in many ways. Volume of water, everywhere ml is given, in ml divided by 22,400 is equal to number of particles by Avogadro. This also another way to get the answer, right. Directly also you can go by simple ratio. If this is 1, that is how many, and if this is 2 parts, that is how many parts, ratio also can go. No need to go for formula based also. Number of neutrons present in 64 grams of methane is equal to, assume that methane contains 12 anhydride, okay. So, dear students, he is saying that methane is there, correct, and methane contains obviously C12 carbon and hydrogen, and if you separate it C12 and hydrogen if you write separately, you should know that carbon contains proton, electron, neutron 6, 6, 6, and hydrogen contains proton, electron and neutron does not contain. That means, the contribution of neutron is not hydrogen here, only carbon is the contributor, correct. So, therefore, now you have to find that means we got an idea. That means, if you take one methane molecule, do not say mole, one methane molecule is having how many neutrons? 6 neutrons are there, Remember this. Reference you got over. Once you get the reference, no one can stop you from solving it. So, 1 methane contains 6 neutron. Then 64 grams has how many? Right. Then 6. So, number of moles is equal to weight by molecular weight. So, weight is how much here? 64 by gram molecular weight of methane is 16. So, it is 4 mole. Correct? So, that means 64 grams of methane is nothing but 4 mole. Then you have to go for 1 mole methane. So, 1 mole methane has how many neutrons? Tell me. 1 methane has 6. 1 mole has how many? 6 into 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 neutrons it has. And 4 mole he is saying. So, you have to multiply by another 4 here. You are going to get your resulting answer. Weight of 2 gram atom. Remember the language, 2 gram atom. So, remember, if you speak about anything, 1 gram atom is always equal to gram atomic weight, and which is always equal to Avogadro number. This relation you always remember. Now, so using this, he is asking 2 gram atoms of calcium is equal to how much? So, 1 gram atom. So, if you speak on calcium only, so 1 gram calcium, 1 gram atom of calcium I will give it bracket, is equal to gram atomic weight, that is 40. 2 gram atom is how much? Very easy, 80. Which one of the following gas occupies minimum volume at STP? Any gas if you take 1 mole, it occupies 22.4 liter, right? That means the gas occupied depends upon number of moles. So, among these 4 you have to find out which is having the least number of moles. Are you following? So, least number of moles you will have 2 grams of methane. How? Let us see. Number of moles of methane is how much? Weight by gram molecular weight. Number of moles of hydrogen is how much? 4 grams. Weight by gram molecular weight. Number of moles of oxygen is how much? Weight by gram molecular weight. Number of moles of nitrogen how much? Weight by gram molecular weight. Nitrogen 28. Okay. Oxygen means oxygen molecule. Here some students will get confused. Oxygen means, are they speaking about oxygen atom? So, whenever it is oxygen atom, he will specify. But generally when we say oxygen, it is O2, nitrogen N2. So, you can see where will you get least number of your moles, there it will be occupy least. A hydrocarbon contains 80% carbon, empirical formula, very easy. So, percentage of carbon and percentage of hydrogen, this is carbon is how much? 80, obviously hydrogen will be 20. So, now if you divide it by its molecular weight 12, okay, I think you will get 6.6 is some value, and this you have to divide it by 1, right. I think you will get your 6.6 approximately, 12 no, 5 is a, yes, yeah, 6.66 something will come. Are you following? So, assuming, please exact calculation you take care, approximate I am doing, I guess it is 6.66 and this is 20. So, if it is 6.66, then you have to divide it by the simplest ratio. So, hence you will get 6.66 by 6.66, this is equal to 1, and this if you divide it by 6.66, I think approximately come approximately to 3. That means it has 1 carbon and 3 hydrogen. So, your answer will be the first one. Empirical formula of ethyne and benzene is same. Let us see. What is ethyne? C2H2. Convert into empirical formula, CH taken n number of times. Benzene, C6H6, so it is CH taken 6 times. Yeah, statement 1 is correct. Both ethyne and benzene are hydrocarbons containing same number of pi bonds molecule. Now this goes wrong. You better know that ethyne is nothing but this is ethyne, correct? It has 2 pi bonds, and benzene it has 3 pi bonds. So, very easy question this is. So, hence statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is incorrect, proved. Carbon dioxide is obtained from combustion of carbon or by decomposition of limestone, has same composition by, okay. So, this everybody should know it obeys laws of definite proportion, which states that carbon dioxide coming from any source will have its definite ratio or proportion, right. 1 mole of methane contains, okay, this is a bit slightly nice question. 1 mole of methane contains 5 gram atom. So, here you can see, let us solve first A. Methane, so you can see it has 5 atoms. Are you following? So, it contains 5 gram atom, obviously this is correct. Next, 1 mole of methane occupies 22.4 liters at STP. Any gas at STP occupies 22.4 liters, correct. Next, contains 2 moles of hydrogen atoms. Now, this is pretty wrong. Contain 2 mole of hydrogen atoms is wrong. It contains, how many hydrogens are there? 4 gram atoms are there. Can you see? You can see clearly. Hence, now C becomes wrong. Contains 1 gram atom of carbon. Obviously, 1 carbon is there, 1 gram atom. So, actually A, B, A, C, D are interrelated to each other. So, hence answer is A, B, D. The number of sulfate ions produced in aqueous solution containing 1 mole potassium sulfate. Very, very easy question, man. This gives rise to 2 potassium ions and 1 sulfate ion. So, if you take 1 mole of this, so you will get 2 moles of this and you will get 1 mole of this. No need to discuss the answer, it is first one. Next, the sample containing 3 gram atoms in it is. So, how to find out 3 gram atoms in it? Okay. So, obviously, you have to see. How to see 3 gram atoms now? Let us see. 3 grams atoms in it. Okay. Now, this in reference to that, what you have to do, just now I gave you an idea. 1 gram atom is equal to its gram atomic weight, which is equal to Avogadro number. So, each one you put it here and you try to cross check it. Number of moles of calcium ion present in 0.5 moles of calcium carbonate. Very easy question. Calcium carbonate ionizes and give calcium ions plus carbonate ions, correct. So, if you take 1 mole of this, you will get 1 mole of this and you will get 1 mole of this. So, ratio is running 1:1 ratio. So, what is the question? Number of moles of calcium ions present in 0.5 moles of calcium carbonate. That means, if you take 0.5, what it will become here? Common sense, ratio running same. So, it is 0.5 only, correct. Empirical molecular formula will be same for empirical formula and molecular formula. For ethane, it is C2H6, hence the empirical formula is this one. For propene, propene is C3H6, it is CH3 taken 2 times, you can take C2H6, C3H6, yeah, in time the 3 if I take, yeah, whatever it is. Okay. Acetic acid, CH3COOH, which is written as C2H4O2, and this you can simplify it as to CH2O taken n times. And ammonia. Ammonia you cannot further bring any simple ratio. Hence, for this empirical formula and molecular formula must be same. Weight percent of carbon in ethene is X and ethane is Y. How to find weight percentage? Very easy question, man. In ethene only, no? Yeah, ethene. So, because by mistake if you go for ethane, problem then. Our solution will be correct, but the final result will be wrong. Okay. So, how to find out the percent composition? So, in this how much carbons are there? 2 carbon atoms are there. So, if you go weight wise, it is 24. Therefore, and what is the total molecular weight of this? Total molecular weight is how much? 24 plus 4, this is 28. Therefore, percentage of carbon is equal to 24 by 28 into 100, right. If you go for same method, if you go for ethane, C2H6, so here also you have 2 carbons, so it is 24 and your molecular weight is equal to how much? 30. It is nothing but in your school or college you find marks, percentage of marks. How do you find percentage of marks? Marks obtained by total into 100, same manner. So, therefore, percentage of carbon is equal to where it is, yeah, so 24 by 30 into 100. So I do not have calculator with me, and you can, I hope you can calculate and find the difference. So whatever answers you will get here, you have to find the difference of it. Next, the sample which contains least number of atoms is, so the sample which contains least number of atom is, how to find, yeah, hydrogen means it is speaking about H2, nitrogen is N2, zinc is Zn, and chlorine is Cl2. So you can see you are having 1 gram atom, 2 gram atom, 2 gram atom, 1 gram, and here you are having 2 gram atom. Okay. 16 grams of ozone contains more number of atoms than 16 grams of dioxygen. See, 16 grams of ozone and 16 grams of dioxygen need not have same. Let us see how. So first, if you speak about ozone, 16 grams it is saying, so number of moles, 16 grams contain more number of atoms he is saying, sorry, atoms. Hence you can write weight how much? 16. By gram molecular weight of ozone is how much? 48. 48. Ozone O3, correct? So this is 16 into 3, 32, 48, correct, is equal to number of particles by, sorry, is equal to particles, that is ozone molecules, by Avogadro number, correct. Now if you speak about oxygen, right, if you speak about oxygen gas, O2, so number of moles is equal to weight how much? 16, gram molecular weight 32, so number of particles by Avogadro number. So if your very school level basics maths is good, you can see that both the equations cannot be same. 16 grams of ozone contains less number of molecules than 16 grams of dioxygen. You can easily answer from the two equations. Which of the following sample weighs more? So obviously 224 liters means it's almost 10 moles then compared to others. Are you following? And it is saying that sample weigh more. Are you following? So it will be very high. Regarding 1.5 grams of nitrogen, two statement is, so 1.4 grams of nitrogen, that means number of moles is equal to weight by molecular weight. Weight is 1.4 by molecular weight of nitrogen is 28, and what is asking? Moles, liter, STP he is asking. Okay. So I think this is approximately 0.05 it will come. Please check it. Right. 1.4, 0.40, yeah, 0.05. So 0.05 moles it is. So 0.05 moles means 0.05 moles is equal to volume in liter by 22.4. You find out. And if you want to find out this equation 1, equation 2. Now if you find out number of molecules, then how to find out? 0.05 is equal to number of molecules or number of particles by Avogadro number, correct? So by this you will get your respective result. Okay. Percentage by weight of hydrogen in ethene is equal to, ethene formula how much? C2H4, percentage of hydrogen, correct. So here you are having, what is the molecular weight? Just now we have found, carbon is 24 and this is 4, this is total 28. So percentage of hydrogen is nothing but, contribution of hydrogen is how much? 4 by 28 into 100. You will get your corresponding answer. Okay. Next, silica can react with hydrofluoric acid is most important statement. Why? Because silica can react with hydrofluoric acid, very reactive acid and very well known for etching of glass, and it forms SiF6 to the power -2. And we should know that SiCl6 to the power -2 is unstable or actually do not exist. And there sulfuric acid, it is very inert, nitric acid is simply oxidizing agent. The oxide of 14 group which exists only at high temperature is silicon oxide. Carbon monoxide is available on the road, pollution, high pollution. Germanium oxides are available, lead oxides are available, litharge what we call. Silicon oxide, actually silicon dioxide is present at room temperature in our nature, and generally we call it in a local language as sand or sand particles or sand crystals, quartz, many names are there, will not go in that direction. Next, incorrect statement regarding carbon monoxide is, right? The incorrect statement, correct statement is neutral oxide, it is reducing agent, it is used in metallurgy where carbon monoxide react with any metal oxides and liberates the metal and forms carbon dioxide. It is neutral oxide because it does not react with acid or base. It is almost insoluble in water, correct? Carbon dioxide is soluble in water, it becomes soda water. It is used as refrigerant. No, ammonia is generally famous, ammonia, nitrogen, right? Graphite is used as abrasive. What is abrasive? Abrasive means which is used to cut others. Like example, any construction of a building is happening and there you can see a blade will be there somewhere, you have seen where iron rods are cut. Are you following? Or something rough surface is there to make it smooth, another sandpaper is used. Like that, abrasive means which is used to polish or cut others, this is called abrasive. And graphite is not an abrasive, you should know. Carbon black is used as refractory material. No, carbon black is not used as refractory material, it is used in dyeing and inking companies. Okay, next. The correct order of resistivity of the 14th group is, it is very directly based upon the simple, I think this is slightly, okay, it is okay. Some questions are very unique of nature, we cannot do it anything. Okay, next. Fullerene is an allotrope of carbon. Regarding fullerene, incorrect statement is, so regarding fullerene, the only incorrect statement here is carbon-carbon bond length is 134 pm, or you can even say 1.34 Armstrongs. And remember, in fullerene, the ratio of pentagonal rings and hexagonal rings is same. So here, whenever you say fullerene, here we are speaking about any fullerene, remember about it. The next element to be placed in 14th group after lead is, see, lead belongs to which group? 4a. It is even number, odd number, even number. You observe it, all the atomic numbers are even. So if you go by that method, answer may be 2 or answer may be 4, but however you will get stuck up or hang up. Okay. So but till now what is the atomic number of lead? It is 82. You see, I am not saying you to buttify all elements atomic numbers, but the elements which are famous, silver, gold, mercury, lead, tin, famous elements atomic number you have to remember. So you should know that below lead next element must come, means it should cross the valence p block, s block, d block, f block and come back again. That means total how many electrons to be added to this? 32. Hence it must be 114. Which one of the following is incorrect statement? PF, lead fluoride is covalent. Lead fluoride is not covalent compound, it is very well known ionic compound. Among the following statement about diamond is incorrect. Okay, the incorrect statement about diamond is, remember graphite is more thermodynamically stable, its standard enthalpy is considered to be 0, it is reference in organic chemistry, hence the statement first itself is wrong. Which one of the following is the starting material in the preparation of linear silicones? Right, to prepare linear silicones, this one is used because if you take chlorine and this is silicon, this is R, this is silicon, this is R. So if you hydrolyze this, then however you are going to get the silicones and this will further lose water, H from here, OH from next, H from here, OH from next, and then you are going to get taken n times, you are going to get the corresponding linear silicones. Select the incorrect statement regarding carbon dioxide. So it cannot exhibit resonance. It is slightly soluble in water. What is the proof? Soda water. It turns lime water milky, forming calcium carbonate. It is acidic oxide, correct, because it will form H2CO3 in water. Hence it cannot exhibit resonance is incorrect. It can so hence here you can see I can write one of its ionic form of carbon, right. That is the reason why carbon dioxide, the carbon in carbon dioxide is called electrophilic in nature or electron deficient in nature. R, P, A, Y, D are elements belonging to 14th group, the correct trend of this, and what is the P. So, shortcut, everybody should know, whenever you speak about electronegativity, no need to get confused. What is the simple answer? R must be 100% carbon. Am I right or wrong? Why? In the entire group, carbon is the most electronegative element. So, there is no doubt that R must be carbon only, but hence here it cannot be carbon in option. Then he is asking what is P here. In the family of 4A, the most electronegative element is carbon, it is electronegative around 2.5, and next is lead, it is around 2.3. Carbon is generally taken as 2.4, some books call it 2.5, and lead, some books say 2.2 or some books say 2.3. So, this is actually, he made a story out of it, but it is a good question, nice question, but you can do directly by reading the textbook. The 14th group element with least ionization potential is, obviously it is tin, because lead is not there here. Are you following? Silicon and carbon must be very high, non-metallic nature. In germanium and tin, due to their sizes. An amphoteric oxide which can act as best oxidizing agent is, everybody should know it must be lead oxide, because lead exists +2 and +4 form, are you following, in under equilibrium. Which one of the following represents correct trend of density? Are you following? The correct answer is diamond greater than silicon greater than graphite. Diamond, you know, there is no exact density of diamond, but most of the people mention it 3.5 grams per cc, but its range can go even up to 4.5 grams. It depends from diamond to diamond. Are you following? And graphite is approximately 2.2, silicon is approximately 2.3. So, silicon and graphite, they are just by margin 0.1 or 0.2 margin, they are different. Regarding quartz, the incorrect statement is, here it is a good question, nice question. Covalency of oxygen in quartz is 4. This is only wrong. You should know that in general the flow goes like this. Covalency will never change. Are you following? So, covalency of silicon is 4. Oxygen will remain 2. Know how oxygen will form 4 bonds? Common sense, no. Basic chemistry will get destroyed there. Diborane react with ammonia at high temperature to form B3N3H6, which is commonly called borazole. Are you following? Inorganic benzene. Inorganic benzene. Nitrogen, boron, nitrogen, boron, nitrogen, boron, and each possess the hydrogen atoms. Regarding orthoboric acid, incorrect statement. Sometimes what happened in my video, by mistake I will select correct statement, because we are habituated to focus correct. So, even we do mistakes, so be alert and careful from your side. Okay, what is he saying? In aqueous solution, it accepts a proton from water. So, wrong. Why? Orthoboric acid is electron deficient, correct? And from water, it accepts OH minus ion because of its deficiency and releases H plus ion. This, from this you will get negative charge. This equation is evident about that the third statement is incorrect. And however, this question, it is soapy to touch. I am also listening for the first time, but it is white color powder. Maybe after mixing in water it becomes soapy to touch, but it is soft to touch. Okay, it is okay. 13th group show +1 and +3 oxidation state. Okay. 14th group, okay. 14th group +2 and +2. Correct order about the stability of their oxidation states is. So, everybody should know higher oxidation states are more stable than lower, because higher oxidation states react also more. And remember, thallium in 3A, are you following? It shows inert pair effect and it will behave, it is very stable and it behave like sodium ions and it will form all compounds like sodium. Okay. Aluminium +3 is more stable, or if on here +2 more stable, only that is the relevant exception case. Hydrides of boron are not very stable. Diboron is one of the important member of boron family. Number of hydrogen atoms which cannot be replaced by methyl groups. Okay, see, what is the concept here? The concept here is structure of diboron. So, if anybody asks you how many hydrogens can be replaced? So, you can replace this 1, 2, 3, 4. How many can't be replaced? The middle 2. So, replaced are 4, cannot be replaced are 2 because of their bridging position, their inertness. Screening effect influences periodic properties. Influence of screening effect is very high in tertiary group. Incurrent trend among the following is gallium. Here this is exception case. Aluminium slightly it's higher compared to gallium. That is defined by its screening effect. Okay. Yeah. Boron fluoride plus NaH by hybridization of boron in the compound is simple, very easy, very easy. So, boron fluoride is electron deficient compound. It combines with sodium hydride. Negative part attacks there because of deficiency. So, it becomes BF3H will become 1 unit whole power minus and sodium will become Na plus, and since 4 bonds have formed here, it will form what type of molecule? According to VSEPR theory, AB4 molecules, hence the hybridization must be sp3. Orthoboric acid is weak antiseptic. Now you know the weak antiseptic, strong antiseptic we cannot say, it is antiseptic or not we can just define, okay. That also depends upon concentration. Diboron has high calorific value. So this both the first statement is correct, second is correct, but diboron is having high calorific value. If you are speaking only about diboron, it is okay, but once you start comparing with someone, then calorific value will change. If you think about biryani, biryani has more calorific value than diboron. Are you following? So comparatively, since it is not in comparison, we can say high. Okay, that is the logic there. BF4 cannot exist. Orthoboric acid has layered structure due to hydrogen bonding. BF4 cannot exist, no, it can exist. Why it cannot exist? Just now we studied, no. BF3, electron deficient compound, fluoride ion can attack and form BF4 minus 1, sp3 hybridization, and orthoboric acid has layered structure due to hydrogen bonding. Yes. Okay, dear students. So by this we have completed the paper discussion, and any minor errors etc. are there, you try to speak with your respective teacher. Okay. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye.